Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm a medicine student in Innsbruck and I'm trying to answer the questions about the food literacy project.
What does food literacy mean to you in everyday life?
For me, it means like to know where your food is coming from, how it was produced, like also the way how it was shipped, where it's coming from. Also, what is inside the food? Is it helping me? Is it gonna make me healthy later? Is it maybe gonna help me with sports, or is it gonna make me more tired what I eat? Also, like, how should I keep my food? Where should I keep the food? Is it better to keep it in the fridge or outside? Is it gonna get bad faster? Like different things, how to use the food in a better way to make less waste and also to live healthier.
How much do you think people know about the journey of food from farm to table?
I think it depends a lot on also the family you grow up, like how important food is in the family, how they are, like what is the value of food in the family, if they like to cook a lot themselves or they buy ready food. Like if you get all the ingredients, I don't know, from market or from farms, or you just buy ready frozen food, then of course you don't think that much about where the food is coming from. So I think big importance is also like how you were raised and how it was in your family. And then also, of course, in schools, if you had a teacher who had big value on the food and where it's coming from, or if you make maybe school trips on farms to see, I don't know, how milk is produced and everything. And I think lately, especially for young adults, they think more about where the food is coming from, because more people, they are like becoming vegan or vegetarian and really thinking about how the food is being produced, where it's coming from. But I think also, especially maybe in cities where you don't see it every day, how a farm is working, or your neighbor is not a farmer, maybe for some people it's difficult to see where the food is really coming from and how it's been produced.
What makes healthy eating difficult for people today?
I think maybe it might be difficult for some people for, like, if you talk about money, because to eat healthy is expensive. It's more expensive to buy fruit, vegetables than just something ready. Or if you go eat out, sometimes salads are more expensive than hamburger, which doesn't make any sense because it costs a lot more to produce meat and everything, but somehow it's still cheaper. So I think money is really a big factor and really big part why for some people it's difficult to eat healthy. Also, I think it's time, because cooking and like checking the food, it takes a lot of time to figure out which food you want or how to cook food, or I don't know how long it takes to prepare. Maybe some people, they need to work a lot, they have a lot to do, they don't really find the time in their day to also think about what they should eat or if it's healthy or not. They just want to eat something, and understandably they don't have time to spend 2 hours in the kitchen and cook something, or to check what is healthy, what is not. And maybe also some people, they don't know what is good for their body or not, but I think mostly it's just time and money for most people, or it's just easier to eat unhealthy.
Do you usually check food when shopping? What information do you look at first?
I check the food before I buy it. It depends what it is. Like for fruit, mostly I check where it's coming from, if it's local, if it's seasonal. Of course, sometimes I also buy it if it's not, but I think that is normal. Or sometimes I also don't check because of time, but I try to check where it's coming from. Also, like packaged or ready food. If it's something that I never bought before, I usually check the label, what is inside, especially if it's like really highly produced food, like not just ingredients. then I check what they put inside, if there is a lot of sugar inside, if there is a lot of unnecessary things inside. But of course also sometimes I don't have the time and I don't check. But generally I mostly buy the same things, so I already know what is in there. But if it's something new, I try to check where it's coming from. Also if it's still good, the date, if it's possible also to shop regional or with some certificates that it's been produced under good circumstances.
What do you think is the most confusing part of food labels?
For me, in the beginning, I guess it was confusing at the back side with the percentage, because sometimes it's written in milliliter, like on, let's say if it's a drink, it's for 100 milliliter. First times when you see it, you think it's for the whole package. Like let's say there's 30 grams of sugar or 13 grams of sugar in some drink, then you think in the whole one is just 13, but then it's half a liter, then it's a lot more than you think. Also, when the ingredients are labeled, I didn't know for some time that it's like the thing that's at the first part, it's like what is there in the most. Sometimes they print the healthy things in like big letters, so you see it first, but it's not what is there in the most. And also, I think what might be confusing is all the shortcuts they are using for some, I don't know, acids they put inside, or for some things that the name is too long to put on there. They have this E letters, and that might be confusing for people. What is that? What else might be confusing?
What does safe food mean to you?
Safe food is, I mean, on a lot of levels it depends, but it's, if you go somewhere, you need to trust them that they treat the food hygienically, that they always kept it cold, so there is no bacteria or something that can make you sick. That is really important, or that they don't touch something with some dirty hands, or I don't know where it's coming from. They didn't use any chemicals on the fruit that is like not healthy for you, or I don't know, a lot of things. Also sometimes in some food there might be some nuts or something that it's like written on the package that it might contain nuts, or for people who might have allergies, that is also really important. Or if it has milk, for people who cannot tolerate milk, that they always write it at the back, and that you trust the whole process, that what they did is really inside. Or for people who have some diseases like diabetes, it's also really important that they know what is inside, how many calories are inside, that what is written there is true, so they can calculate their blood sugar. And also, of course, that you trust that there is nothing like, I don't know, some dirt inside or some nails, I don't know. Sometimes they write at the cashier that this and this product they cannot sell anymore because there was some dirt inside, so that these things they get controlled and don't happen as often. So what you buy, you can trust that it's healthy and good for you.
What are the most common food safety mistakes people make at home?
Safety mistakes, maybe for mold. I wasn't that careful also before. When there's like little mold, sometimes you just cut it away or you scrape it off. But the mold is going really deep inside the food, especially if it's like softer food. If it's something like really hard, you can cut it out like in really big way. But if it's something really soft, like, I don't know, some cream cheese or yogurt, it already spread it more that you can even see, like you don't see the mold that is inside the food. So mostly then you need to throw it, which I didn't do sometime, but no, now it's not healthy because the mold you cannot really see. And also for meat, for example, when you cut it on the cutting board, it's maybe better not to use the same cutting board for fruit or something that you eat directly and you don't cook, or you have a cutting board that you can wash like with high temperatures to get rid of all the bacteria there might be inside, so it doesn't make you sick.
How do you think social media and influencers affect the eating habits?
It depends, I guess. It's always like little trends. What is like trend now? I think now it's more the trend that everyone is eating a lot of proteins, which I don't think is like bad, that you want to make people to think about what they're eating. I think that is good if you tell them, okay, this food has protein, this food has carbs, this one has this kind of vitamins. I think that is good, so they make people think about what they're eating. But I don't think that it's good because some of them, they are making people, like telling people that all you should do is eat protein a lot and protein this and protein that, and that is not really what your body needs. It's like mix of carbs and protein and fats also and vitamins, not just protein shakes all day. But it depends, I guess. It's like who makes the content. Some influencers make good content, some not that much, and it depends on who you're consuming. What I don't like is that there's sometimes some trends, I don't know, now it's like trendy again to be really skinny and not to be strong anymore, or not to have healthy weight, and that is of course not good. So you need to be careful who you're following and who you're watching.
Do you think everyone has equal access to safe and healthy food?
I don't think so. It would be nice if everyone had the same access to healthy food and safe food, but just if you look in Austria, I mean, it's a lot about money and time. If you come from a family, they have a lot of money, they can choose where to eat, they can order food if they're lazy to cook. Like, it's different than someone who needs to check 3 times how they will spend the money, and for these families it might be more difficult to eat healthy because healthy food is expensive and it's not cheap, and it's cheaper to buy 1 kilo of noodles than making a salad with different vegetables where 1 cucumber is already €2. So especially I think for children, they cannot really decide what to eat, and they have really different opportunities to have access to healthy food. But also for older people, it's, I don't know, especially for retired people, some of them, they also don't have a lot of money, and maybe also not knowledge or people who can cook for them in a healthy way. So it's not the same for everyone, and in other countries it might be even more difficult for people to eat healthy. But even like here, it's not the same for everyone. Some people, they have better access, some not.
What small actions can people take to reduce food waste and make more sustainable food choices?
I think there's a lot of things you can do. I mean, you can start small to maybe plan a little what you're gonna eat this week. I see, for me also, it's sometimes a little difficult to plan it before, and then sometimes you forget some food and you see it's getting bad and you need to throw it. But maybe if you plan the week a little better, what you're gonna eat, and maybe buy food you don't need to throw after 1 day directly. Or if you buy strawberries, for example, they get bad really easy. Maybe eat them faster, or like, can you do it again, Matthew?
What small actions can people take to reduce food waste and make more sustainable food choices?
I think there's a lot of things you can do, but it doesn't need to be something really big. Just maybe, also for myself, I should maybe plan the week better, what you're gonna eat, so you don't throw things, or maybe you reuse things, like, or mix them up with something, just not to throw them. Because a lot of food is like wasted. I think it's 1/3 of all the food that's being produced is waste, so it's really sad it's going for nothing. Also, sometimes some food might be good after the date, like there's this date, it's saying food is good until at least, I don't know, and then it's saying a date. Doesn't mean it's bad that day, like especially if the package was closed, mostly it's good longer, and you need to check it, smell it and taste it if it's still good. And sometimes even some days after you can eat it. Some things even weeks, but you always need to check if it's still good.